Hey, what's up guys? I'm Saskia and I'm the community manager here at Iceberg, and today I'm joined by Chris, our PR manager. A little while ago we released a Pax Nova gameplay video, and this is one of our newest games that is upcoming. And Chris, you spent a lot of time in this project. Could you give us a little introduction about Pax Nova for the people who haven't seen the video or do not even know what the game is?
Of course. So Pax Nova is an upcoming 4X strategy game. It's produced by Grey Wolf Entertainment, who are the creators of Dawn of Andromeda. And I've been spending a lot of time with the lead developer, Mike Dominguez, to get the information I needed to write this video, and obviously get a bit more information from him as well. So I've got a lot of knowledge now.
Yeah, that's good. And so talking about knowledge, this video was received really well online, and from the community, you guys, I got a lot of questions. And we thought it would be nice to sit down together, kind of go through a few of the questions that I got saved on here, and see if we can shed some light onto them. So the first question we got, and one that we got a lot of times, which I get because the 4X community loves this question, and I like this question, I think a lot of people want to know the answer, is what makes Pax Nova unique from all the other 4X strategy games?
So I think the thing that people say to me, especially when I describe Pax Nova to them for the first time, is that the scale of the game is just unprecedented. So you start out the game on the surface of a planet, you're building your first city, but from there you then go into space, into star systems, and you start landing on more planets, and all the factions in the game are operating across this whole canvas. So the game is huge in scale.
It's interesting because that's actually also part of a question that we got a lot as well, and that is that a lot of people kind of want to know, how does this skill work in practice? Because you have the surface of the planet, then you have the amount of planets, and then you have the systems and all the planets in that system and how many systems there are in there. And so, you know, you can already hear how big that is. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so to get down to like really just basic details, the maps on the planets themselves, when you go onto a planet's surface, they're about the size of a small map in Civilization. So that's around like 3,000 hexes.
Yeah, that's a good anchor point.
The planets then exist in about 3 to 8 per system. So that's the planets you can actually land on. You can't land on every planet. But the planets you can land on is about 3 to 8, and then there's about 20 systems in a normal game. And I stress a normal game because Pax Nova is really customizable, and that's like one of the real heart of the game is that Pax Nova is really customizable. So you're going to be able to decide if you want to have a really short game that only maybe has one planet in one system, or if you want to have a really big game that has loads of planets in loads of systems. It's up to the player.
That's good to know, because a lot of people, they might not enjoy these huge scale games, and so it's very nice that you can customize it the way you like. And so how many of these planets will you end up owning? So
for a typical game, when you win, you're going to be looking to have about 10 cities, and those will be spread across 3 to 4 planets.
Okay. Yeah, because there were some concerns about management in this game. You know, if the scale is so big, how long will your turns be if you have to manage every single thing?
Yeah. One of the things the team at Grey Wolf knew when they started the project was that they needed to have turns that were not really long and boring. So they've put a lot of features into the game to make sure that that doesn't happen. One of them is being able to automate your cities. So with a city, you can give a city a budget, you can give a city a specialty, you can even make it neutral if you want, and you can just let it run itself and you don't have to worry about it too much. But if you want to, the option is still there to go deep and micromanage everything.
Oh, that's good. So it's not like you have to manage everything. You can kind of choose, and both options are just as great.
Exactly.
That's nice. That's really
There's also a vassal system. So for cities that you take over, you don't necessarily immediately become in charge of every facet of that city. So it means that you actually have to spend a great amount of influence to take that level of control. Otherwise, you're just, you know, the city will look after itself.
Yeah, because that can get really overwhelming, especially in late game when you're doing really well and, you know, you're starting to get into the combat a bit more. And then you have to manage everything and it just piles up. So that's really good. And it's nice that you have the choice as well to do so or not do so. And so if we talk about the AI, the scale is pretty big. Do you all start out on the same planet, or does the AI also start on your planet or also their own one? Like, how does that work?
So the AI will start in a randomized location.
Okay.
And the scale of the game means that that is unlikely to be the same planet that you're on as the player. But it can happen. There's nothing in the game that's preventing that from happening necessarily. So in very rare instances, you will get cases where factions have started together. And obviously that creates a very different situation.
Yes. I wonder how many people would restart the game if that would happen to them, because that can be really annoying. And more of a science thing, for some of the people that have seen Interstellar, we won't spoil anything, but there's situations where you get into when you deal with planets and space and time.
Mm-hmm.
So once things go into space at Pax Nova, how does space-time relate to planet time?
So it's not as complicated as in Interstellar. Luckily, really, it's all abstracted. The ships, for example, in the time it takes for them to travel about 1 light year, a tank on the surface of a planet could go about 1,000 kilometers. So, the difference between space and ground is already abstracted into the layout of the hexes.
Right. It would actually be a cool concept for a game to deal with that.
It would be, yeah, it'd be interesting.
Looking at the scale of Pax Nova, I think that's not a desirable thing. And so you're talking about a tank, and you're talking about a spaceship. These units, are they preset, or can you customize them as well?
So every unit in Pax Nova is customizable, right the way down from your ground units all the way up to the spaceships themselves.
Okay.
And those can go into quite a bit of detail. You can give them a different visual appearance, and you can also be adding all kinds of weapons and modifications.
That's good. Yeah, we already showed it a little bit if you've seen the previous gameplay video, we've gone into unit customization.
Yeah.
But as Chris is saying right now, that's also...
Yeah, that applies to the ships as well. We didn't show that in the video.
We didn't show that, but that also is happening, and that's probably why we got this question. Yeah. And so how does combat in space work?
Combat in space is very similar to combat on the ground in terms of the actual nuts and bolts of it. But obviously there are differences with the ship units that are, from the ground units.
Yeah.
So those will make space combat a little bit different, but functionally they are the same.
Okay, good to know. And so now probably the last question of all questions, and I get it asked a lot on social media, and I almost can never answer it. So why don't we just go and ask Chris now? Pax Nova, when does it release?
So I can tell you that the game has literally just exited a really lengthy QA period. It's gone really well. Yeah. The team right now are working really hard on making some final polishes and tweaks, but I can announce that the game will enter early access on Steam this May 9th.
May 9th, yeah. And that's super quick as well. Well guys, you really need to mark your calendars May 9th, and that will probably make the wait less crazy because it's so soon. Well, first of all, thanks for answering these questions today, Chris. I really hope we answered most of the questions that you guys had for us. Good thing is you'll probably be able to try it out for yourself. Other than that, if you're not connected to Pax Nova or to us, Iceberg Online yet, here you can see our social channels, and we also have a Discord channel. We would love to have you there. Chris, thank you so much, and you guys, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video. Bye!
Bye!